to clean up the environment.
The accident happened when a giant tanker which was unloading oil at a terminal near the city began leaking. 80,000 litres of crude oil flowed into the harbour. It shocked the people of Sydney, who pride themselves on living in one of the most environmentally friendly places on earth. It's caused a slick which is 6 miles long, and the fumes can be smelt up to 12 miles away.
This is an outrage. It shouldn't have happened. There'll be a full and comprehensive investigation as to how it could possibly happen.
It's already too late for some of the animals here, but the slick, which is thought to be the worst in Sydney for 20 years, is now threatening many more birds and animals who live in the harbour. Conservationists are particularly worried about an endangered colony of fairy penguins who live at a secret location in the harbour. And there are fears for the harbour's dolphins, which could breathe in the oil. Here in Australia, it's the middle of the night, but 48 hours since the spill occurred, they're still working around the clock to clean up the oil and save as much of the wildlife as possible. The clean-up could take up to 3 days, but conservationists say there could be long-term damage to the environment. Officials are now considering tightening up controls around Sydney Harbour, and the company which owns the tanker has been fined £400,000. This is Maria Veronese reporting for Newsround in Sydney.
More of Thursday's top stories, and meet Rufiji, the black rhino who's giving zookeepers in Kent something to celebrate. Black rhinos are highly endangered with just over 2,000 left in the world, so baby Rufiji is a very welcome addition to the family. Plays just restarted on the first day of the third, truly growing about next week's solar eclipse, but so too are the safety warnings. So is there really any danger from watching the event? Newsround's Dr. David Bull has been investigating.
11 a.m, August 11, 1999. The most magnificent natural event this century. A time when the moon covers the sun and the earth is plunged into darkness. But there are hidden dangers. You must not look at the eclipse.
Yeah, I know you've heard it all before, and you may be sitting at home thinking that everyone's just being very overcautious. But one person who knows about the true dangers of looking at an eclipse is sitting just over there. 12-year-old David Berger-Jones is telling his story up and down the country, in newspapers, on radio, and now on television.
Last year, I was in America watching an eclipse through special safety lenses, and I still ended up getting blinded in one eye.
When David looked at the eclipse, the sun's rays were focused through the lens in his eye to a fine point. They scorched a hole in the back of the eye, destroying his normal vision. Looking at me, this is what David sees with his right eye, but if he uses his left, this is the view he gets. As you can see, it's all blurred, and to make matters worse, there's a hole in the middle of it where he can't see anything at all.
It's ruined my life. It's the worst thing that's ever happened to me, and never take a chance, because it will ruin your life.
There is going to be a total eclipse, which is once in a lifetime. Children will want to watch. What advice can you give them?
Even if it's once in a lifetime, never take a chance during that. It's the worst thing you can do.
There are only two ways to view any eclipse safely. The first option is to turn your back to the sun, use a pinhole, and look at the image on a piece of white card. Or you can choose the easy option, and that is exactly what I shall be doing. Cup of tea, and you can watch it on the telly.
And that's it for today. Join me again tomorrow live at 5. Until then, goodbye.